All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm so freaking excited for this Zoom. I reached out to Lauren and Megan because they both have incredible stories about going from nothing to diamond in a matter of 90 days. One of them went diamond within 90 days of joining, and the other one went diamond within...
Sorry.
The other one went diamond after being in for a little bit and then just making a decision. So first one that is going to speak is Megan. So I'm going to unmute you. Megan, you should be unmuted. If you just want to share your story and then just kind of get into it. I didn't really give you any questions, so you have like full round of whatever the heck you want to talk about.
Okay. All right. So my name's Megan Roach. I have been with It Works since June of, let me put my phone away. It's going to bother me. I've been with It Works since June of 2016. Ooh, big screen. And I started, my baby was a month old, and I tried something prior to this just to like figure out something that I could do before going back to maternity leave, because I did not want to put my baby in daycare. I pretty much, before I became a mama, I was working since I was 16 years old in the corporate restaurant business, and I moved up in that, and then I became a restaurant manager, and like that was what I did. I was really good at that. I decided I wanted to have kids, so I switched gears to just like in a grocery store, and then I got pregnant, and I was like, okay, I need to do something different because I just don't want to send my baby to daycare. That's not why I wanted to be a mama. So I was a customer with It Works for about a year, and my upline, which I think she's on here, but she approached me a few times after I had the baby, and she was like, hey, she thought I could do it. And I was just like, no, I don't think I can do it. I tried something different before and it just didn't. And it was like quick. It was like a 3-month thing, but it was, I'm not going to bash any other company, but it was with makeup. And as you see, I'm not a big makeup person. So like passion wasn't there. And I just wasn't about dialing myself up to try to make it work. So that didn't work for me. And then, so she approached me a couple times and I was like, no, I don't think so. She didn't give up. She was like, I know you can do this. I know you need it. And I didn't know her. I knew her husband. So like, that's the first thing real quick on like a tip. Don't be afraid to go to somebody you don't know. Don't be afraid to expand your Facebook that way, because if you are only going to be if you're not going to be willing to go and find a stranger, you might lose out on your next rock star. So anyways, I finally said, okay, I knew she had my back because she knew that I just had a baby. So I jumped in June. There was the $500 Ruby bonus. I got that in my first 2 months. And then Ruby just kind of sat there. After I had my baby, I got a huge blood clot, and that kind of just like deterred everything in me. And then it spiked anxiety, and it was just not a good time between after I went Ruby, and I kept it for a couple months, and then I just fell back, and that was like the year of 2017 pretty much. And then we came out with Keto Coffee, and I was 18 months postpartum. And I knew that I felt terrible with myself. I was getting my anxiety under control. Everything was kind of just like going with life. Like I just had to kind of deal with everything. And so then I said, okay, I need to do something better for myself and for my baby. And I just really wanted to take control of my health. So in October of 2017, the Keto Coffee came out, and I'm not a coffee drinker, but I was like, screw it, I'm going for it. And I'm going to use it, and we're going to see what happens. So I did low carb and Keto Coffee and the chocolate greens, and I lost 32 pounds in 3.5 months. And at that point, that would have been in January. So conference of 2018 is when it all changed for me. If you guys went to conference, you knew that Mark's Dark Horse speech at the end of conference 2018 was like game changer. Well, for me, that was it. That was game changing everything. Like I knew health-wise, I was doing great. I'm sorry, you're gonna hear my babies in the background. They should be sleeping and they're not. Sorry. Okay, go play.
You are so fine. I'm looking up, you guys, I'm gonna find, if you have not seen the Dark Horse speech, I'm finding it on YouTube. There's like 12 million of them. I don't know what the best quality is, but I'm going to grab one. I'll put it in the chat because you need to watch it because like she said, it was literally incredible.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. So
So
keep on with the story.
I'm sorry. So I basically, at that moment, I was standing next to my enroller, Kim, and we, she had a big moment and I had a big moment, and we looked at each other and we're like, we're doing this. Like, I was doing the low carb thing. I was feeling great. And I could really sell my results because y'all know taking the product results sell. So we decided we're doing this, but I didn't decide just for myself I was doing it. I was doing it for others. Like I always thought, I just got to do this. I got to do this. I'm going to get a paycheck. I'm going to do that. But the second I changed it to I'm going to help other people change their lives, that's when Game Changer I went all in and it was there. So
I love that.
Keep going. That's kind of my story. It's long. I'm sorry.
No, I love that. I love how so many people have so many different stories. And also I didn't know that you were like the makeup before. I was with another company that did makeup before. I do love makeup, but it did not work well. So that I love that because it's so easy to talk to people when they say like, oh, I tried a company before. And I'm like, hey, it could have been right industry, wrong company, because that's what it was for me. So what I want you guys to hear from that, just because you know somebody that did a different company before does not mean they won't do this. Don't count people out. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So you went to conference, you had that change after the speech, and what did you implement in an everyday basis to get yourself from where you were to Diamond by the end of March?
Okay. So going into, I know she said like January, I was a distributor. So I was a lifetime Ruby, but going into January of that year, I was paid as a distributor. I maybe had one person working. So it was pretty much like I had to start over at that time. So leaving conference, like literally the second we got out of there, I had my charts, we were ready to go. And the girl that was kind of working, she was with me at conference. So like, it was kind of nice to have her like kind of catch it as well. So basically when I got back, I said, okay, what do I need to do differently? Basically I had to do everything differently because all I was doing was the coffee and all that. So I wasn't really doing a lot of business, like huge. And Host to Post just came out at that time. Host to Post, it was and still is now my baby. Like when it comes to what I do, like I don't really like cold message anybody. Like I guess cold message. Bye. Okay. Bye. But Host to Post is where it was at. I was enrolling about 60 people, about 50 to 60 people a month, whether it was distributors or customers. And I just had to decide it was going to happen. Like that's the main thing that you have to do is you just have to decide you're going to go for it and make it happen. So like as far as something special, I locked arms with people that were willing to work and I just went for it. And I just knew that if no one was willing to work, I had to be my own rock star and I had to do it myself. So I didn't do it completely by myself. I had the 100% support of my enroller and she was pushing me and we ran together. But I went Emerald in February, at the end of February, and then Diamond at the end of March and claimed the Emerald bonus of 5,000. So
I love that so much. You guys, when you hear something that is working for other people, try it. I know there are so many of you that are like, oh, I tried Host to Post once and it didn't work for me. And I'm like, well, I don't know what you're doing, but you're probably not doing enough of it because Host to Post was and still is where I get 99% of my enrollments. You guys, I signed 2 customers today off of Host to Post that I got up today. So if you're saying Host to Post doesn't work for you, it's probably because you're not working for it. You're probably talking to 5 people a day. You're like, well, I sent out 5 Host to Post messages, so like I should be signing 40 customers. Well, no, you have to talk to more people. This business is a numbers game. It's all about who you talk to. So would you say that one of the big things that went or that took you from distributor to Diamond was staying consistent? Do you think that had something to do with it?
Yeah, 100%. And to make sure that you just keep running with the people that you chose. If you're brand new, like I said, I wasn't brand new, so I had one and I had my enroller. But like you just have to decide that's what you're doing. And I had my baby. I had, she was over a year old or whatever. So like, I knew like that could have been an excuse, and it was, but in the same sense, I knew that that's what I needed to go for. And for that one, it was the old mapping. So we needed more distributors than the 15 or whatever it is now.
Yeah, you guys, if you don't know, if you're newer, Diamond used to be 24 people. Now it's 15. So she went from distributor to Diamond of 24 in 2 to 3 months. She went Emerald, which was back then what? 4, 10, 12 distributors, 12, 13, 14, around there. So about a Diamond chart now. You guys, they made Diamond so much easier. So according to what it was now, you probably would have been Diamond in February.
Right.
About. So,
and I will say with the host to post thing, like you said, it's a numbers game. I would just, as kind of a what you need to be doing. So I would do like 75 to 100 messages and maybe get 30 to answer me. Like I would just message them, hey, quick question for you. So that just gives you an idea. Like if you're sending out 30 messages and getting 1 or 2 to answer you, then you've got to go bigger. And I saw a thing in there, it said about adding, like you have to just add. Don't add from suggested friends. You can add from people that told you no. You can add from groups now. Groups are a big thing now. But I just, at that time, I just randomly added off of ads and stuff like that. But I know you can't do that now on Facebook. But yeah, it's possible. You just have to decide it. You have to decide you're going for it. You have to think about other people. Like how many people can I help? And you have to be confident. Like I learned like confidence is key. I was making like income disclosure, but I was making like $120 in January. What did I have to offer anybody? I sold my results. Sorry, he got stuck in the laundry room.
oh,
Is he all right? Sorry.
you're okay. I will. You can check on them. I'll just pause in here quick. So, you guys, you're good. With host to post, like, and with promoting, you just need to make that decision to where you're like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever the heck it takes to get where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to that point where you're like, I will do whatever the heck I have to do, no matter what anyone else says. So if you're like, I'm getting up 1 host post a day after sending 20 messages, and you want to get up 10, then guess what? You have to send out 200 messages. But that might not be the same thing for everyone. So know what you're getting up and then figure out what you need and do it that way. Don't just be like, well, I'm going to send out 20 messages because that's what I think I should do. Well, no, if that's not getting you the results that you need, then you need to be doing more than what you have been doing. Does that make sense? So, Lauren, I'm going to hop to you. Megan, we can come back to you. Let me unmute you. Lauren, you should be unmuted here. If you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I'm just trying to find your video. Here you are. Okay. So, hi. So tell us a little bit about your story and how you went from you signed up and you went Diamond within 90 days. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So I signed up in April of 2018. It was literally ignorance on fire. I did not know what I was doing, but I started because I was working 80 hours a week at a job and I was miserable. I was literally living at work. My fiance at the time, husband now, we worked at the same place and I literally told him, like, I feel like I'm living here. Like, we should just because we work in healthcare. And I told him, I was like, we should just get a room here. It'd probably be cheaper because we live here. We would be doing 5 16s a week. Like, that was our life. And I needed something different. We had 2 puppies at the time. We were planning a wedding, everything. I remember sitting down and talking to my husband, and I was like husband at the time. And I was literally like, I don't know how we're going to pay for this wedding, this dream wedding of ours. I don't know how we're going to pay for it. And I just like bawled my eyes out. So we needed something. So within a month and a half, I promoted to Emerald. And then within 2.5 months, I promoted to Diamond. I was still working all those hours, I locked arms with my leader and I just ran with it. Like I said, it was ignorance on fire. I was doing what I was told and I pretty much just did it. Host to post was key. And then messaging was key. I was messaging a letter a day. I was random adding, and at this time, like, there wasn't as much as a limit on random adding as there was now. And I was literally staying up. I had to be at work at 6 o'clock, so I had to be up at 5. I was staying up till midnight, so I was getting like 5 hours of sleep. And then now I work 3A to 3P, which I love that schedule. So I have to be up at 2 a.m. And even now, like, I'm up super late. Probably the days that I work. Luckily, I only have to work 2 days a week. But the days that I work, like, I'm literally up till till like 11, 12 o'clock. So I get like 2 hours of sleep. So literally just doing whatever it takes to just have like what do I want to say? Like, literally have your dream, like a vision, I don't know, like, have it written out, if that makes sense what I'm saying. Like, have it written out
what you're going for.
Goals are. What'd you say?
Like, know what you're going for so that you can always start in the face. Yep.
Yeah, so literally have it written in front of you. When I was going diamond, I had my chart in front of me all the time. I was updating it 24/7. I had it in my pocket at work. And every time I got a loyal customer, or someone on my team got a loyal customer, I was crossing off that number and updating it. I was literally updating it 24/7. So that way I knew where I was going. But the big thing is just being committed and always just, like I said, know where you're going and just keep pushing for it. And I will tell you this, and when I promoted to diamond, it was also the old chart too. So it was a whole bunch of more distributors than it was before. And then the big thing too is just run with who is working. So if you have workers on your team, run with them. And the biggest thing too is just getting new blood all the time. Because if you have the old blood that aren't working, you're not going to get anywhere, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to touch on a couple of things that you said because I love that. The first thing you said was that it was ignorance on fire. So many times people come into the business and they're like, I just need to like figure everything out. I need to learn all the things. I need to know how all the products work, how much all the products cost. I need to know every little report on eSuite, and they hold themselves back. Yep. And what you did and how you got from distributor to diamond is you ran with your leader. You did what your leader said, and you just did all the things. Mm-hmm. Didn't think twice about it. You weren't like, well, I don't know, like, I'm afraid to message. You're like, nope, that's what she said to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to message because she said to message. I'm going to do this because she said to do that. You just have to get to where you, like, where do you want to go, and then stare that in the face. You guys, literally, I have my dream board right next to my bed. So when I open my eyes in the morning, there is my dream board, like, literally right in front of me.
Yep.
That is your motivation to get up. If you do not know where you're going, you are not going to get there. Okay? Know your chart. How many distributors do you need? How much customers do you need? What do you need? Do you know? I want to know. Put a 1 in the chat right now if you're like, I know exactly to the single digit what I need. Put a 1. I do. I love this. Guys, there's not that many people. There's 1, 2, like 6. Well, now there's more coming in. Because this is not something that everyone does, but I promise you, if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. It's just like if you were going on a road trip and someone's like, all right, like, I'll go with you. Where are you going? And you're like, I don't know yet. Like, I'm just going to drive somewhere. I'm out. Like, how is someone going to go with you somewhere that you don't know where you're going? So knowing your goals is going to help you get distributors along the way. Okay? So I'm very, very, and y'all, if you've never been on a Zoom with me before, I'm a very strong red. I hate when people say, I don't have a story. I can't enroll distributors because I don't have a story about what the business has done for me yet. Shut up. Okay? The business may not have done something for you yet because you started 2 minutes ago, but you know what it can do. So instead of sitting here being like, man, like, I don't know, I haven't made any money yet. Okay, post-prod, I'm so dang excited because I know a month from now, all my groceries are going to be paid for because of what I do. Because of this little side business that I picked up. Stop waiting for the things to happen before you start posting about them. Shout out your goals before they come.
not to interrupt you, but like when I was going diamond, I literally kept putting on my Facebook, I'm paying for my wedding in cash. And guess what I did? I said, like, I'm replacing my income of working 80 plus hours a week. I did within 3 months. So like, just be loud and be proud of what you're going to do. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you have to put it out there because, and you guys, and I'm sure Lauren and Megan, you guys will probably agree to this 1,000%. When you shout your goals out and then you hit your goals, your inbox is blowing up. I think the day after I signed Double Diamond, I think I signed like 8 distributors the next day because I claimed it for so long. And then I did it and everyone's like, oh my God, she actually just earned that bonus she's been talking about. Like, what? She actually just did that? You guys, Double Diamond bonus when I earned it was only $10,000. So you have a $20,000 bonus right now. But you guys, like, you have to put it out there because people are watching whether you know it or not. I messaged someone today on Instagram. She said, I've been watching you for years. Who are you posting for? Do you know? Do you know who your audience is? Like, where are you going? So, okay, I get off on tangents. This is a mess. This is my life. I'm going to unmute you. Megan, can I unmute you? Are you good? Okay. I'm going to unmute you both so that you guys can kind of just like work off of each other. I don't know. Okay, I unmuted you.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what are some ways that you can stay motivated after hearing a bunch of no's?
Yeah. You want me to go first, Lauren?
Sure.
Okay, so I will say, I tell new people, I tell people that just start that you're going to hear a lot of no's and you just have to go for the yeses. That might be easier said than done because you do get a lot, but I remember when I was a Ruby-ish, I remember talking about like, oh, I'm signing 5 people this month and none of those people signed. And oh, you can hear me? Oh, okay. None of those people signed and I was sitting there with nothing. So you just have to keep talking to people. And even if you have people on your planner, you just have to keep going. Like if you need to get 100 in your planner and only 20 sign, then only 20 sign. You just have to say to those people that say no, or to yourself, you have to say, they're not telling you no. They're not saying it rudely to you. They're saying no right now. And you're going to get rude people, and that's what the block button is for. Like, I have learned that so many times. You're going to get rude people. You're going to get people that don't understand what we do because all they think of it as is we're getting towards vulnerable people. We are a scheme, whatever it is. We know what we're about. We know what our company is about, and you just have to decide that you're not going to let them bother you. You might have a crappy day. You just need to have someone in your corner that you can go to and be like, hey, I had 10 no's today. Tell me how awesome I am. Like, in all honesty, like my upline, she's one of my best friends, and she came to me and said, I need one. I need a pep talk. And I'm under her. It doesn't matter where it is in your chart. It doesn't matter if it's someone across the way from you. Like, if you feel crappy, get a good book, get a podcast, or get someone to tell you you're awesome and just keep going. Like, if that's important enough to you, you'll do it.
Yeah. I always say if you're struggling with the no's, you need to figure out why you're doing this. Because for me, when I get a no, it does not affect me in any way, shape, or form at all because I know where I'm going. Matthew helps me, my fiance, with the business, and he will go through my messages and be like, it blows my mind how many people say, okay, I'll order on Friday. And then Friday comes and they're like, okay, 1 second. And then they don't answer. To me, that's a numbers game. I'm used to it. It is what it is. But I'm just going to keep going because there are going to be people that say yes. There are going to be people that order right away. But the people that say no are going to be there. So you have to know why you're doing it and have, like, there was some Zoom that I watched with Ashley Mayfield, and she said, what's your evacuation plan? When you get into that mood where you're like, everyone's saying no, this is going to fail, like, this is terrible, have a plan beforehand so that you can get out quick. Because when you're in that bad mood, you're going to be stuck unless you have a plan. I know what my plans are. I have a couple songs that get me out of my mood real quick, and I have a couple people that I can message and say, hey, I'm in a bad mood. And they don't say, oh, me too. They're like, excuse me, like, you are a strong woman. You got this. And have those people that'll just slap the sense into you. But you have to know how to get out of it because once you're in it, you're going to be stuck there. Is there anything you wanted to add on that, Lauren?
Definitely like you were saying, you were getting like people that said that they were going to order and don't. Like, I never expect people, like if they give me a date, that's awesome if they do. I'll put it in my planner, but I never count that as a guarantee because it may not happen. So I make it a goal to get LCs, and I don't count those people in my LCs for my goal because it may not happen, and that's okay. And for me, just personally, know your why, because if you're getting no's and you know your why, then that it won't bother you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000%. Okay, awesome. Do you guys have any tips on how you guys keep track of people when you're talking to so many? Megan, I can unmute you again. Lauren, you want to share on that?
Yeah, definitely get a planner.
I always say, people always ask me, they're like, what's the best system to follow up with people? I'm like, the one that makes sense to you. Like,
everybody has a different way for it to work for them.
Yeah.
Like I have a follow-up list and I have a planner. So I do, like, I have multiple ways, and I have an iPad that I put my follow-up list. Some people still like the paper, so it just depends on what works for you best.
Megan, you're fine. What I do, so like I have a file on I have an iPad also that I keep, I use GoodNotes, and I just write everyone down. I just say their name, what day I talked to them, and what they were interested in. But then I also, when someone gives me a date, I put them into my calendar so I know to follow up with them that day.
Yep.
So just figure out what makes sense to your brain. Like if you're someone that's like, I need to have it written down, don't go buy a digital planner off Etsy. Don't buy an iPad just because I have an iPad or just because Lauren has an iPad. There's not one specific path to success. There's not one specific way that only works for following up or keeping track of people. It just needs to be what makes sense to your brain. Megan, I'm going to unmute you. Is there anything you want to add to this topic?
Yeah, so I was just, I have a planner as well, and I did all the things when it came to like how to follow up with people, how to keep people organized. I mean, really it changes all the time. Like I had a little rolly thingy with their names on it. I had my planner, I had a notebook. I mean, it changes. But I will say that one thing that I always go back to is I'm not the greatest at organization, but I use Messenger. Like if we have a promotion, if we have a BOGO, if we have anything like that, I'll just search the word cleanse or search, and then that way it'll bring up anybody that I talk to about it, and then I'll go in that way. So then if I don't have my numbers or my lists with me, or if I didn't do great at following up or writing them down, I can do it that way and then write them down from there. So
Yeah.
If you have your phone with you guys, you always have a way to write. Yeah, he can't you always have a way to have your list with you. Just you have your messenger, and that's 100% like if you need something, you got it right there.
Yeah. So what are your guys' best tips for getting distributors?
I host a post for distributors personally.
Okay.
That has always worked for me. And I kind of like switch up what my host a post is. And then also like random adding is the biggest thing. Getting people from your network, getting people to see your Facebook and see what's going on.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. I will say that a big thing with getting distributors is just being confident. As far as like where you're getting them from, I host a post and at random adding, and now especially with Facebook, compared to what it was 3 years ago, it is a lot of lifestyle posts and like non-green, black and bling, join my team stuff, which is glad you guys aren't part of that because it was rough.
That was a rough part of the business.
It really was. But I will say that people love seeing, like, I'm a mom of two. They see me as a mom of two. They see me looking with a top bun all the time, and I don't look beautiful on Instagram. Like, they see who I am. And if they're going to join you, they got to be able to relate to you. And if you are like, I mean, personally, no offense to any top leader at all, but some of the top leaders that like talk about how much money they make and that they have millions, whatever, like people that want an extra $500 a month can't relate to that. So I don't put that stuff out there. Like, I'm not making millions, but I mean, like, I don't put huge things out there unless I'm going for this bonus and stuff like that to show it's real, because I'm trying to go for a triple bonus. But they gotta be able to relate to you. So like, I know a couple girls on my team, they specifically said, you know, I joined you because you are a mom. You did what I did. I mean, I could sit there and say, wow, if she can do this, then I can do this. And I have other people that aren't moms as well. So you don't have to just relate to as a mom.
Yeah, you just have to be so yourself, honestly.
Right.
Because if you're not, okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. If all of your posts are perfectly, your hair is perfectly done, your makeup's perfectly done, you're all put together, and then someone joins your team and they train you, and they're like, girlfriend, you look like you haven't washed your hair in 2 weeks. Like, what, you're not the person that I thought I joined with. That's going to automatically, subconsciously connect to some sort of distrust. They're not sure who you are anymore. But also, like you said, don't wait for this big story, okay? I have shared multiple times that I've paid off $15,000 of credit card debt because I'm dang proud of it, because credit card debt is a scary thing. But that's very hard for someone to visualize. They can't see themselves just wiping their debt clean. But what I do share is I remember the days that I had to pick which credit card not to make the minimum payment on. People can relate to that. People have been there. It's okay to be vulnerable. Share your struggles.
Right.
Share. I remember.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Just go ahead.
A big thing with that is like, even with like credit card debt, groceries, gas, you could literally like at the pump and say, thank you to my side business for picking up the gas tab again. Like, people need to see that, because some people can't go into it saying, I want to make $2,000 a month. People don't think they're worth making $2,000 a month. Like, from your phone, like they think, okay, an extra $300, I'm good. So if you can show the little wins, like I did a post about paying off a bunch of debt to, I can't remember, like 12,000 or something, but I did that a couple times and I didn't really do it again until my next big one comes. Like, cause I don't want to showboat, because some people look at it as you're showboating. Yeah. And I don't want that to happen. I want them to see everything it's done for me. I get to stay home with my babies. I get to do this while they're sick. I get to be on a Zoom when my kid has a bloody nose. Like, I get to do all this stuff from this choice. So they have to be able to see that that's normal.
You guys, I want to share a funny story, because a lot of people, and I'm glad that we're really going into topic on this, because a lot of people struggle with signing distributors when they're new, because they're like, I don't know what the heck to post about. I signed 3 distributors from one post, and you'd think it was this magical post. You want to know what the post was? I went to Starbucks and I bought a $1 cake pop. And I said, I am so excited because I just was able to buy a $1 cake pop because of my little side business. Do you know how many people cannot buy those little extra things because they're so strapped? I also made a post about how I was so excited that when Matthew and I had our apartment, I was able to buy whipped cream, you know, like ready whip, like out of a can. Because in my head, that's like an added extra, like super not necessity. That's like $5. People can relate to that, where they're like, man, like I can, like my groceries are bare minimum, like super couponing, like whatever you have to do. So people like to see those little things. It doesn't need to be, I just bought my dream house in cash. It can be, I just put more than $1.27 of gas in my car and I'm freaking excited about it. It doesn't need to be a big story. So I want to know real quick, what are both of your lists of things to do each day? So Lauren, you go first. I'm going to run through the chat, make sure I'm not missing any other questions.
Definitely interacting. Like, you are not going to get very far if you're not interacting, and just communicate with your, not viewers, but your people on your Facebook. And that's just going to get more people to comment on it because they're going to see it because of the algorithm and everything else. Random adding. I always hop on power hours. Those really help me to stay focused. My husband and I, we're always going to do things. So power hours help me that I can sit down for an hour and just work. Messaging, host a post. I get out at least 10 host a post a day. And just communicating with your team too. Every single day, communicate with your team.
Yeah. What about you?
So we started as a team, we started doing a little different list that we've done. And again, it changes all the time. But my main things I do is adding friends, host a post. I do go for 8 a day. I'm not very great on Instagram, but following on Instagram, but I'm going into TikTok. So now I want to follow on TikTok. And then total messages a day, and then any type of enrollers and as far enrollments. And as far as like Lauren said, like communicating with your team, and I always do some type of, I always make sure I'm active on Facebook. I do like 3 to 5 posts depending on like what I'm doing for the day. But I do a lot of like mom funny memes and stuff like that. And that's how I get a lot of interaction. And I get a lot of shares and stuff like that. But yeah, in my stories, I always make sure there's a story going. And that's pretty much, I mean, as long as you're doing that consistently every day, then I feel like you're going to go up. Like you shouldn't be stuck.
You guys, so many times I hear from people that they're like, if I could just get the 6 list of like Cheyenne Knox, then I could be successful. Or if I could get the 6 list of the Duns, then I would be successful. You want to know what they do? The same thing that everybody else that has went diamond or above does.
Well, I'll tell you, my 6 list is from Rachel Jones. Like, this is her exact 6
you guys,
list. She's an ambassador diamond.
It's nothing crazy. It's just doing it every single day and without fail. Because I promise you, if you do the list every single day for 90 days, you will, I will almost 100% guarantee if you do the 6 list every single day for 90 days, you will be diamond in 90 days. Okay? But if you do it 2 days and then you take off a day and then you do it another 3 days and you take off 2 days, it's not going to happen. I heard I want to say quote, but that's not the thing, like where something relates to something, whatever, I don't know what the word is, but it's like, you know, if you're at like a water well and you like do the little pump thing to get water to go through, you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, someone shook their head. Yes, great. So when you do that, at first it's really, really hard to get the water to go up. But if you keep pumping it, it's just going to keep going. It's not going to be that hard. But every time you stop, the water goes back down and you have to restart. That is how your momentum goes. It's going to take you a little bit to get your momentum there, to get your team working with you, to get things happening. But as long as you keep trucking along, you keep doing the things, it's going to stay there. It's going to continue. But when you take one foot off the gas and then you're like, hold on, let me just have like a couple days to think to myself, it all dies. I swear your team knows if you take one day off, they're like, excuse me, I didn't, ma'am, you didn't post today. Your team is watching, okay? So my last question, well, hold on. My last question for you guys, what is your best tips for how do you keep the balance of working with your runners versus your newbies versus working on your own enrollments plus your everyday life? Whoever can go first, it doesn't matter.
You want to go, Lauren?
Go ahead, Megan.
Okay, so as far as like the runners to the newbies, so obviously we know with newbies, we need to give them more attention. I would say I always check in with my runners every day anyway, but like the newbies, you need to hold their hand a little bit more. Like when I start a newbie, I have them screenshot everything. Like I don't want them to feel intimidated or overwhelmed or anything trying to figure out exactly what it is. So I would say there's not really a balance. I mean, your runners should be able to hold their own and come to you for questions or a group chat. Like they shouldn't have to like hold your hand for it. So it's more of like a checking in. So I don't know. I don't feel overwhelmed by my runners. So I think
something I want to share that I don't remember who told me it, but they said if you're waiting till you feel super balanced in your work life versus your personal life, it's never going to happen. You're never going to have a day where you're like, I killed it at my business. I killed it at my marriage. I killed it with my friends. I killed it with my kids. Like that's not going to happen. You're going to have days where you kill at your business and you look at your husband and you're like, did I even say hi to you today? Like, I don't know what happened here. Like, sorry. It's okay.
Yeah.
Life is messy. But you guys, yeah, like that's how it is. Even if you're working a regular 40-hour week job or 80 hours, you're going to have days where you come home and you're like, don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Leave me alone. I want to take a shower and go to bed. Okay. Not every day is going to be perfectly balanced. My tip for working with your runners versus your newbies versus yourself, what I would recommend is get most of your business stuff done, your messages, your whatever you need to do on your list, get it done first. Right in the morning when I come upstairs, I do my personal development, I get my post up, I get some messages out, I get a majority of my things done so that I know I can spend the rest of my day with my team, okay? But match the efforts that your team's giving you. So if someone's like constantly sending you messages, constantly like, okay, what can I do here? What can I do here? What can I do here? Give them your effort. If you have to chase someone down to post, do not chase them. Don't put your time into them because if you put your time into people that want it, you're going to have insane results. Is there anything you want to share on that, Lauren?
Just adding on like what you said, if someone's giving me 5%, I'm going to give them 5% right back. If someone's giving me 120%, I'm going to give that back. I've dragged so many people along and begged them to, not really begged, but convinced them to work and everything, and it's just not worth it. I will say that very bluntly. And for me personally, my runners, I'm in contact all the time, and layered leadership is so big. If I'm signing up a distributor, I work with them one-on-one for a couple days. If I place them underneath one of my runners or whatever, I put us in a group chat and I let us both like help with the screenshots. I do not to be like, this is me being red, but I do not let my new distributors message on their own for a week. Every screenshot is sent to me. So that's the biggest thing, because word vomiting is so big. So screenshot, that way they can get in the habit and get like what we're trying to say and just super simple and break it down. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and if you are new on here, please, please, please hear us loud and clear. You messaging us, asking us questions does not bother us. We are never going to get a message and be like, oh my God, this girl's asking another question. We're like, heck yeah, this girl wants it. Like, she's going for it. So do not feel like you're annoying your upline. Do not feel like we're bad talking you when every time we get a message. I assume every other leader, when I get a message from someone on my team, I'm like, oh my God, they did something. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited when people are putting in that effort. So what I want you guys to share is just one more quick tip. If there is someone that is either brand new and they're like, okay, I do want to go diamond, but like, how the heck am I supposed to go from 0 to diamond in 2 months? Or someone that's been in for a while and they're like, I'm ready to go for it. What do? I feel really, really far, but I want to go for it. What would you say? Give me like your 60-second tip on what you would tell them.
I definitely get out the charts and I'm like, this is where you need to go. Definitely showing them where they need to go. For diamond, for example, I think it's 15 distributors. I say you need 15 distributors in this long, and I do it in steps too. So if they should hit ruby, then emerald, then diamond. So pull out, if they need to hit emerald, do an emerald, and then if they need to hit emerald, do an emerald and a diamond. Always look ahead. That's the biggest thing. And just figure out like where to put volume, like help them figure out where to put volume. So like, for example, when you're signing up loyal customers, I've always taught my team, when you, for example, emerald is a ruby, you should be building that ruby to emerald as well. So just kind of look ahead is what like the biggest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Megan? I just unmuted you. Maybe. No. There we go.
Yep, we're good. No, yeah, definitely with the charting thing. The biggest thing is they need to know what a charting is.
Yeah.
Like, especially if they're going from 0 to diamond, like that's like super intimidating. If you look at it, they need to understand like rubies make diamonds. So like she said, going from ruby to emerald to diamond, like I'm working with a few that are either brand new or they've been in it for a while and they're deciding to do it now. And it's, if they're deciding to do it, if they've been in for a while and they haven't done anything, but they're deciding this is it, they're doing it, it's pretty much square one. Like you have to, like they have to understand, like you haven't really been in it, then we're going to treat this like day one. And the person that's going for it has to just realize that it is, because I know one thing that always sticks with me is Pam Souter. She said, if you take off a day, it's like a week. If you take off a week, it's like a month. So if you've taken off a year, imagine what that did for your business. So you have to start over, and just checking in with them all the time. Like I said, I have a couple and I talk to them. I see where they're at. They enroll a distributor. I say, we talk about where it's going, where we're going to place it. I roll in another one. Okay, how's your first one doing? If you build momentum, so like if I enroll a distributor or they enroll a distributor and then they enroll another one, usually it's good to put it underneath that one if they feel good about them, because it shows them like you're believing in them 100%. Let's do this together. So that can be their runner almost. But that's, just staying super close with them, working 100% close is what I would say overall.
You guys, yeah, I love that. There are a couple things that I want to share on that. The first thing that I want to tell you guys is you need to make a decision. Okay? So many times people are like, okay, I really, really want to go diamond. Like, this is it. I'm going to do it. But in the back of their head, they're like, but if I don't, it's okay. But like, if I can't, like, it's fine. Like, I'll just try for it again. how many of you, and be honest, put a 2 in the chat, and I will put a 2 in the chat also. How many times have you shouted out a goal and you're like, I'm going to go this, and then in the back of your head you're like, maybe? Question mark? Like, I think I can. You guys, that is not going to get you there. You have to get to the point where you're like, I'm going to freaking do it. Whether I have to stay up for 60,000 hours in a row, I'm going to do whatever the heck it takes.
That's me.
That is my fiance. He's like, babe, we're getting my account diamond. I'm like, got it. But here are things that I want you to do. So you have to make that decision. The second thing is you have to tell your upline, hey, I'm doing this. What do you recommend I do every day? And then here's the kicker. Do everything they say. Every single day and more without questioning it. So if they say get up 10 host posts and you're like, I've only gotten up 1 a day. Oh, wow, girlfriend, you better start getting up 10 or more. Because you have to do what your upline says to do because they've done it before you. However, if your upline is a distributor and they've never went diamond, like ask your diamond upline. You know what I'm saying? Like just be smart there. But just do the things, okay? But here's what I want to teach you guys. Because I was looking at the diamond chart and I'm like, you guys, this is so much easier than we think it is, okay? First off, the diamond chart is like tiny compared to what it used to be. It still blows my mind that that's diamond. But steps to success. Here's what I'm going to teach you guys. If you do your steps to success, you sign 3 distributors and 6 customers, yes? You teach those 3 distributors to get their 6 and their 3. They complete their steps to success, okay? They then teach their distributors that they signed, their 3, to get their 6 and their 3. None of that's too crazy. We can all sign 6 customers and 3 distributors. It's nothing crazy. Guess what? You just went diamond because you taught 3 people to do steps to success and they taught their people who taught their people. Okay? So many times people look at a diamond chart and they're like, how the heck am I going to sign 15 distributors? How the heck am I going to bring in 8,000 BV by myself? You're not. Unless you have to, then you can. But if you know what you're doing and you teach your team to do the same thing, it can happen very, very fast. And for any of you that think I'm too far, I want to know, can we be honest? Put a 3 in the chat if you're like, I think I'm too far. Like, I don't think I can do it. If you, honestly, if that thought has crossed your mind in the past week, put a 3 in the chat. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Thank you. One person said admitted to it. 3, 4, 5. Okay, you guys, 3. I've been there. Hi, look at a triple diamond chart. It's freaking scary, okay? Unless you're a double diamond, don't look at it. It's really scary. But here's what I'm going to tell you. You are not too far unless you think you're too far. The day that I went double diamond, I woke up needing over 3,000 BV in a day. You want to know how many people I had working? 1. I could have woken up that day and said, I'll try for it next month. Maybe next month I'll be closer. Maybe next month I'll be able to do it. I have a whole nother month. No, next month, some auto ships are going to fall off. You're going to be further away. Make the decision that you're going to do it this month and do not stop. Don't give yourself an out. Don't give yourself that time to be like, well, like, it's okay because we have all of until March and then they might extend it. So like, we'll just see what we can do. No, if your goal is diamond, go diamond this month. And then next month you can go double diamond because diamond to double is not a hard jump. And then guess what? You just went from a maybe $15,000 bonus to a $35,000 bonus and you will watch us earn that for him. I'm pointing at him. You can't see him. But I'm like, on the picture, I'm like pointing at a yellow wall. You guys, big things can happen if you choose to. You can't just sit there and be like, well, maybe one day. Okay, if there is a single person on here, which I'm sure there is because there's always one, that's like, well, like, I don't have a working team yet. Like, I don't have like a full working diamond chart. Want me to tell you a secret? You're never going to have it. You're not going to have a full ruby chart. You're not going to have a full working emerald chart. You're not going to have a full working diamond, double, triple, ambassador chart. Not going to happen. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but there's a presidential diamond who is very well known, not the one you're thinking of, but there's another one, that her triple diamond does not work. Does not work. This person gets them commission qualified every month because there are working people under them. Stop waiting for every single person on your chart to work. Make the decision that you're going to go for it and then do it. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you did what you told yourself you were going to do? If you actually committed to it and did the things that you're supposed to do that you know to do, instead of being like, well, like The Bachelor's on Mondays, so like I don't want to get on a Power Hour on Monday nights because like 7 to 9, y'all, like that's my Bachelor time. Is The Bachelor paying you a $15,000 bonus? No. Stop giving yourself a way out. So that's all I have to say. I'm sorry if this is your first Zoom with me and you're like, this girl's rude. I used to yell a lot. I'm a strong red. I'm so sorry. I want to leave my job this year. I'll leave my job. I'm worth more than your raise is not. Ooh, if someone ever told me my raise was not in the budget, I'd be like, you are not in my budget. Don't let someone else determine what you're worth. Matthew and I literally were talking about this yesterday. People are always like, oh, like that just seems so hard. Now, you know what's hard is putting in 40 hours a week for a maybe 50-cent an hour raise. Do you understand you can give yourself a $2,000 raise this month? If your boss told you, hey, put in an extra 2 hours a day and I'll give you a $2,000 raise, don't tell me there's not a single one of you that wouldn't do that. But you're not willing to do it for yourself. Okay? So I'm going to leave with that. If anyone needs me, needs anything, you know where to find me. I'll put this up on my YouTube tonight. I love you all. I'm so excited for you. If this is your first training with me, when you hit your promotions, please, please, please message me because it's like the most fun thing in the world. Like message me and be like, I did it. So we'll cheer. It'll be a great time. So I hope you guys have a great Thursday and we'll see you next week. Bye.